Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Media Awareness. This is Rob. Before I continue, I want to remind you all that the fundraiser continues. For those of you new to my channel or unaware, I am a disabled individual, and I use a motorized wheelchair / scooter all day, every day for my independence, and I need your help. My insurance will not cover anything with regard to my scooter, as they view it as a quote luxury item end quote, despite the fact that I am unable to walk whatsoever, in addition to being unable to use any other type of scooter or power chair, or even a standard wheelchair for that matter, as I only have limited dexterity in one hand. In addition to that, I do not have a backup scooter or wheelchair to rely on at the current time. So if my scooter should malfunction as it did a few months ago, I will yet again be a fish out of water, a scenario I want to avoid at all costs. With that stated, below the title of this video, in the description below, as well as in a separate section below the information pertaining to this video itself, you will find a spot fund link. It is a fundraiser, it's easy to contribute, it takes a few seconds, and any and all help is welcome. I cannot stress that enough. Even $5 or $10 can make all the difference in the world, and you can even contribute anonymously. The purpose of the fundraiser is to assist me with the ongoing refurbishing of my existing scooter, as well as to help me save for the purchase of a new scooter. I arrived at these conclusions following the malfunction, as alluded to a moment ago, whereby my battery charging mechanism had failed entirely, and for roughly 2 weeks I needed to rely on family and friends to push me around my own home, which severely limited my independence. However, it was that long overdue wake-up call that I needed a backup plan, and a backup plan is to have a brand new scooter to use moment to moment, day to day, every day, as well as my existing scooter completely refurbished, waiting in the wings to be used at a moment's notice, if necessary, when necessary. Additionally, at the current time, I'm also attempting to save for the purchase of a wheelchair van. My wheelchair van, unfortunately, has ceased to function, and that is problematic for me in terms of my independence as well. I'm going different places, and although I could use public transportation, after falling off of a bus, while getting off of the bus, I'm really reluctant to do so. There is wheelchair accessible transportation for individuals like myself to go places. However, it only runs until a certain time of day, that being 5 p.m. So if I wanted to go anywhere after that, I would need to take public transportation, aka a bus, and I would be risking my life once again, as I kind of hurt my head when I did fall off the bus while getting off of it, as stated. So, with all of that, I do want to really urge you all to do what you can. Any and all help, once again, is welcome. I do want to extend a gracious thanks to those who have contributed thus far, in addition to those who plan on contributing, as your contributions have and will make a world of difference in my life. Thank you all. I love you all. Below in the description of this video as well, you will find a link to my video regarding the United States government shutdown and some real significant issues that people in middle class families or individuals and or lower income are going to be facing in the near future unless the government reopens ASAP. So please watch that video if you could as well, and do what you can. I would really appreciate it. Once again, it all means the world to me, and I do really, really appreciate you all. Love you all. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing to Media Awareness and becoming part of the Media Awareness family. I'd love to have you. Also, if you do subscribe, be sure to click the bell icon. That way, you will be notified whenever I upload a new video, just like this one. So it's a very dreary, rainy day here in northeastern Pennsylvania in the United States of America, which is reflective of the government shutdown at the current time and people in middle class and lower income families and or individuals like myself worrying about finances and what's going to happen next, etc. And I thought to myself, it's a perfect day to do something uplifting, and that is a review of John Anderson and the band Geeks Perpetual Change Live. This is a 2 CD DVD set, and in a moment you will see the actual contents. That was shot a few months ago when this arrived. A viewer of the channel was perusing the Amazon Media Awareness wish list, which is linked in the description below. They saw this and contacted me and told me that they ordered it and to watch for it. And it arrived, and I've been listening to the CDs and watching the DVD off and on for a few months now, trying to gather my thoughts and really articulate what I want to say about this set. It is also titled as well, Yes, Epics and Classics. And I'll give my thoughts on the band and the performances as a whole after I show you what's inside the set with a friend of mine that, like I said, was shot on video here a few months ago when this arrived. But if you're new to John Anderson and or Yes for that matter, Yes is a band, a progressive rock band, in fact, that originated in the late 1960s, and they are still going strong to this day, albeit without John Anderson on lead vocals. And they've been without John Anderson at least, for some time now, actually. And in the meantime, John Anderson has been playing solo gigs and so on, and he enlisted the services of the band Geeks for this particular tour, I believe. And they also recorded a studio album called True, which I've reviewed when it was out last year, and you can find that review in my videos. And my only real big gripe about this set is that it didn't contain any of the songs from True, because I don't think they were really recorded yet. So that would be my only big gripe, because the album itself is magnificent. True is really a great album, and a great entry into the John Anderson / Yes catalog as a whole. But I'm going to cut to the footage of the actual, what you get inside this, and then I'll be back after that to go through the track listing and give you my thoughts on the songs and performances as a whole. So here is the John Anderson 3-disc set, Live Perpetual Change, John Anderson and the band Geeks. Really nice artwork, which is sort of throughout this packaging, and it's very reminiscent of Roger Dean. However, it is not Roger Dean. And you have the 3 discs here. You have 2 CDs and a DVD in this particular set. So I'm currently looking at the track list, so I can't see myself on camera. I apologize, but I want to go through this with all of you. And I'm also going to display it on the screen, so that way you see what you're getting as well. Track 1 is Yours Is No Disgrace. Track 2 is Perpetual Change. Track 3 is Close to the Edge. Track 4 is Heart of the Sunrise. Track 5 is Starship Trooper. Track 6 is Awaken. Track 7 is And You and I. Track 8, Your Move hyphen I've Seen All Good People. Track 9 is Gates of Delirium. And track 10 is Roundabout. So there you have the tracks that are in the set, as well as a look at the set itself. And um, first off, I want to say that John himself looks fantastic. He was 79 years old when this was filmed and recorded live, and he just turned 80 this year. And remarkable vocals that just seem to get better with age. I swear, it totally blows my mind. And he looks so happy. I'm just so happy for him watching this and just, him being in his element on stage with a band that is truly happy to be performing the music of Yes that John was part of with him. And it's just really touching to see that. Um, the band themselves are really top notch musicians, and in some cases, these songs are really impressively performed. And in other cases, I did a reaction to a few of these performances. Roundabout is probably my least favorite performance on this set. And it's mainly because it sounds a bit too rigid. It's a little too close to the original recording, with some variations that were always included with some live adaptations of the song. But it's just very sterile in its delivery. It's lacking that natural feel that you really get with a guest performance with John Anderson still in the band. However, being that John Anderson is no longer with Yes, yet he's performing these Yes epics and classics with the band Geeks. Um, they're still really, I think, honing their skills in terms of the feel of these songs. Because some of them are just fantastically performed. Heart of the Sunrise blew me away, as did Close to the Edge, and Gates of Delirium was spectacular. Those were some of my favorite performances. Also, the track Perpetual Change is really a great addition as well. And that goes back to the early days of Guess, as does Yours Is No Disgrace, and I've Seen All Good People, Your Move, hyphen, I've Seen All Good People. And that's a song that I've really been burned out on for quite some time. Yet, with this rendition, it sort of breathed new life into it, because the band is so into it and they really did a great job. Also, one thing that has been lacking from the era of Yes that we're currently in, and from the world for that matter, are the backing vocals of Chris Squire. He sadly passed away several years ago, almost 10 years ago at this point, or more actually. And Chris Squire just had an amazing voice. And when he sang with John, it was magic. Now, a couple of the guys in the band Geeks, when they sing on this set, combined, their vocals eerily sound like Chris Squire. And you'll also find that apparent on John's um, solo album with the Band Geeks, John Anderson and the Band Geeks True. I highly recommend the album. There is a review on my channel. I may have mentioned that or not. I don't recall. But if you are curious, check out the review and check out the album True. It's all new material in the style of both classic and modern, yes, in terms of its overall sound and intensity. But I digress. This set is, for the most part, it is fantastic. It really is. And it took me a while to arrive at that conclusion. I'm a diehard Yes fan. I'm a diehard John Anderson fan. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch John on this tour due to my wheelchair van issue that I mentioned in the intro. That is currently inoperable and has been for quite some time. And it only occurred to me recently to add that to the fundraiser as well. But I digress again. This, I could have seen John live, is what it boils down to. But I was unable to, and seeing this really made me regret not being able to experience John Anderson and the Band Geeks live, especially in support of the album True, because it's really a fantastic album. But the performances on here are solid, the musicianship is top notch, and it really, really reminds you of classic Yes performances. If there were any songs that were missing from this collection that you get here that I would have liked to have heard and seen performed by John Anderson and the Band Geeks, probably Siberian Get True, maybe Outside of the Sky, Going for the One. I think Sound Chaser would have been interesting to hear with the Band Geeks as well, given their intense performance of The Gates of Delirium from the album Relayer, which was my second Yes album I ever owned, actually. So, The Gates of Delirium was really a welcome addition to this set, and it really was performed excellent. But if you are a John Anderson and a Yes fan, or a Yes fan that is particularly fond of the John Anderson time frame, and you haven't heard this or picked this up or seen this yet, do so. You won't regret that. It is spectacular and really an excellent addition to the John Anderson Yes catalog collectively. This is Rob with Media Awareness. Once again, a reminder, fundraiser continues. It's all inclusive now in terms of my scooter, my wheelchair van, and due to the government shutdown and the suspension of SNAP benefits or food stamps, um, that is something else that's on my mind, and I apologize if I'm not as focused as I typically am for these reviews. Also, I have a migraine at the current time, hence the darkness of this room as a whole, in combination with the rain and overall dreariness outside. But this review. I just rewatched the DVD, so that way it was fresh in my mind, and it really was uplifting. And if you need that pick me up, and you were into John Anderson and Yes, or either or if you're just feeling the need to explore something that is outside of the norm in terms of everyday music, check out John Anderson and the band Geeks Perpetual Change Live, or John Anderson and the band Geeks True, or some of the classic Yes albums out there, Close to the Edge, Fragile, Relayered, Tales from Typographic Oceans, Going for the One, 90125. The list goes on. Also, Keys, like I said, Keys to Ascension, volumes 1 and 2. They are live albums, and they also contain new studio tracks that were recorded in the 90s and put on to those sets as well. A truly horrible marketing decision because the tracks themselves basically faded into obscurity for most people, and they were some of the best Yes songs ever recorded, in my opinion. But I digress again. My apologies. My brain's all over the place. Um, I will see you all, though, again soon. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.